Hi and welcome back to our channel Abhyaas IELTS Prep. I'm Arun. In this video we shall discuss different types of tenses. When do we use them along with examples? When preparing to the IELTS test, many students try to find simple ways to help them. Many of these are terrible ways to learn English. You need to have a strong foundation of English grammar before you even think about taking the IELTS test. However, these simple ways, if used rightly, can help you build a better structure and assist you to learn and enhance your English skills. All English grammar is necessary for getting better bands in English. English grammar can be broken down into segments to help you learn it and improve. So I aspire to introduce a module on verb tenses. I'll explain to you what the most common and most adopted English verb tenses are and how to apply them and clarify why they're valuable in the IELTS test. Then you go away and study, use, practice them. Let's begin with simple present. The simple present is used to refer to events, actions and conditions that are happening all the time or exist now. We use the simple present tense when an action is happening right now or when it happens regularly. Depending on the person, the simple present tense is formed by using the root form or by adding s or es to the end. The tense used: I swim every day. I play chess. I feel great. Amy loves pie. I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. It is used to talk about habitual actions or occurrences. Amy practices the piano every day. Mrs. Jones travels during the summer. Fuel stations run all night. Now let's talk about present continuous tense. The present continuous verb tense indicates that an action or condition is happening now frequently and may continue into the future. It is also used for actions happening now or for an action that is unfinished. This tense can also be used when the action is temporary. I'm swimming in my neighbor's pool now. She is speaking to my mom at the moment. Present perfect. The present perfect tense points to an action or state that either occurred at an indefinite time in the past, example when we have talked before, or began in the past and continued to the present time, example he has grown impatient over the last hour. I have swum in the sea countless times. I have spoken to her many times. Present perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to show that something started in the past and is continuing at the present time. The present perfect continuous is formed using the construction has or have been plus the present participle, root plus ing. I have been swimming since I was 7 years old. She has been competing in dance competitions lately. I have been reading Invisible Man for a month now. In this sentence, using the present perfect continuous verb, it conveys that reading Invisible Man is an activity that began sometime in the past and is not yet finished in the present. Recently and lately are words that we often find with verbs in the present perfect continuous tense. Rachel has been competing in quiz competitions recently and she'll be continuing to do that. I haven't been feeling well lately and I'm still sick now, it means. Of course, not all verbs are compatible with continuous action, to arrive and to own. I have been owning my Benz since 2007. The sentence is not right. I have owned my Benz since 2007. Better use present perfect tense. Let's take another example. Tom had been being late for work recently. Tom has been late for work recently. Present perfect tense is apt here. It's always better for in instances like this we stick to present perfect tense. Past tense, simple past. The simple past is a verb tense that is used to talk about things that happened or existed before now. Yesterday I swam 10 laps. Last night I cooked chicken curry. The simple past tense shows that you're talking about something that has already happened. Simple past tense stresses that the action is finished. How to form the simple past? For regular verbs, add ed to the root form of the verb, or just d if the root form already ends in an e. Play, played, listen, listened. For irregular verbs, things get more complex. The simple past of some irregular verbs look exactly like the root form, like put, put, cut, cut, set, set, cost, cost, hit, hit. For other irregular verbs, including the verb to be, the simplest past forms are more unusual. Build, built, go, went, do, did. Past continuous tense. It refers to a continuous action or state that was happening at some point in the past. The past continuous tense is formed by combining the past tense of to be, that is was or were, with the verb's present participle, ing word. The tense is used for a continuing action or event in a time which began or existed in the past. It can also be used to describe an unfinished action that was interrupted by another event or action. I was swimming with David last night when Bob arrived. In May, she was teaching in a school in Darwin. It is often used to describe conditions that existed in the past. The sun was shining every day that summer. It can also be used to describe something that was happening continuously in the past, when another action interrupted it. I was playing chess when she arrived. I can also refer to a habitual action in the past. She was coughing constantly in the class in those days. Although there are no irregularities for these sentences or these tenses, one exception is that not every verb is suited to describing a continuous action. Certain verbs cannot be used in the past continuous tense. For example, consider the verb to arrive. At night he was arriving. At night he arrived will be the right form. Past perfect. This tense is used to make it clear that one event happened before another in the past. Precisely, it is used to talk about actions that were completed before some point in the past. I had swum the breaststroke before I turned 8. He had failed to communicate that he had corona when we first met. The formula for the past perfect tense is had plus past participle. It doesn't matter if the subject is singular or plural. The formula doesn't change. When to use the past perfect? When you're talking about some point in the past and want to refer an event that happened even earlier. Using the past perfect allows you to convey the sequence of the events. It is also clearer and more specific. Another moment to use the past perfect is when you are expressing a condition and a result. If I had woken up earlier this morning, I would have caught my flight. Let's talk about past perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to show that an action started in the past and continued up until another time in the past. It shows that an action that started in the past continued up until another time in the past. The past perfect continuous tense is constructed using had been plus the verb's present participle, that's the root plus ing. I had been swimming for many years before Amy picked up the sport. Dave had been playing soccer for 10 years when he was offered a spot on the US Olympic team. This tense clearly indicates something that began in the past, continued in the past, and also ended at a definite or a defined point in the past. Let's move on to future, simple future. This tense is used to describe things that haven't happened yet at present, but which are expected or likely to happen in the future. I will swim more than 10 laps tomorrow. I will see her again next week. Use this simple future to talk about an action or condition that will begin and end in the future. The formula for the simple future is will plus root form of the verb. I will learn a new language. It doesn't matter if the subject is singular or plural. The formula for the simple future doesn't change. There is another way to show that something will happen in the future. It follows the formula am, is, are plus going to plus the root form of the verb. I'm going to learn a new language. The only niggle with this form of usage is it's on the informal side. So it's a good idea to stick to the will plus root form construction in formal writing. Future continuous tense. The tense indicates that something will occur in the future and continue for an expected length of time. It is used for an unfinished action or event that will occur in the future and continue for an expected length of time. It is formed using the construction will plus be, the present participle, the root verb plus ing. I will be swimming in the new Olympic-sized swimming pool on Friday. By December next week, I'll be swimming like a fish. The simple future tense is used when an action is expected to occur in the future and be completed. For example, let's assume you have a conference tomorrow at 6 o'clock. You would say, I will arrive at 6 o'clock. I will arrive in the simple future tense of the verb to arrive. You arrive once. Beyond that, you can't keep on arriving. However, once you get there, you may be doing different things, at least for a certain period. At 6 o'clock, I'll be meeting with my manager about my pay rise. Will be meeting is the future continuous tense of the verb to meet. The construction will be the present participle meeting, indicating that meeting isn't going to happen in an instant, all at once. It will have a duration. The will plus be plus present participle construction always indicates the future continuous tense. The future continuous tense is for active verbs only. It is important to note that the future continuous tense is only used with action verbs because it's likely to do them for a term. Action verbs describe activities like running, thinking, and seeing. Stative verbs describing states of existence like being, seeming, and knowing. To use the will plus be plus present participle construction with a stative verb would sound very odd indeed. I will be being stressed tomorrow during my English test. I'll be stressed tomorrow during my English test. Future perfect tense. The tense that is used for actions that will be completed between now and some point in the future. To be precise, for actions that will be completed before some other point in the future. The formula for the future perfect tense is pretty simple. Will have plus past participle. It doesn't matter if the subject of your sentence is singular or plural. The formula doesn't change. I will have swum at least 10,000 kilometers by the end of the year. He will have built 40 homes by the first quarter of 2018. Future perfect continuous tense. The tense that is used to describe actions that will continue up until a point in the future. For precision, it is a verb tense that describes actions that will continue up until a point in the future. The future perfect continuous tense consists of will plus have been plus the verb's present participle, that's the verb root plus ing. By noon today, I will have been swimming for 2 hours. In April, Damien will have been working in the company for 10 years. When we describe an action in the future perfect continuous tense, we are projecting ourselves forward in time and looking back at the duration of that activity. The activity will have begun sometime in the past, present, or in the future and is expected to continue in the future. The exception here is do not use the future perfect continuous with non-action verbs. Remember that non-action verbs like to be, to seem, or to know or not suited to the future perfect continuous tense. Instead, these verbs take the future perfect tense, which is formed with will plus have plus past participle. Example, on Friday I will have been knowing you for a month. Instead, you can say on Thursday I will have known you for a week or for a month, improvising the previous section. Well, this is all about the tenses. Thank you for watching the video. If you like our video, please click on the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notified about new videos. It was a pleasure teaching you tenses. Thank you. Stay safe, stay protected.